mark remains even after the bean is cooked. Jacob's cattle. Jacob's cattle, grown in New England since colonial times, they have an especially smooth texture. Since the last reading of the cookbook was so well received, I thought I'd do another one with just a little change of footwear for you to enjoy while I'm reading. I hope that's okay. Let's get back to our description and discussion of the different types of beans. So we'll go back and we'll start with the Corona. The Corona bean is a very commercial name for a large, very firm, and flavorful white bean that comes from Italy. The Corona bean is a fabulous bean. Even after soaking it overnight, it simmers for up to 2 to 3 hours before it is softened up. If you can find it, your cassoulet is made. Cranberry. Currently fashionable in Italian restaurants as borlotti beans, cranberry beans also go by the name Roman, Saluggia, Rosacoco, and Crabi. They are medium-sized, plump, round white beans, sometimes beige or tan, with purplish veins. Pods bear same marking as the beans, and the markings fade when cooked. They're valued in Italy, as well as in Latin America, for their smooth texture and mild flavor. One of the few beans regularly available fresh, cranberry beans are good with olive oil, garlic, herbs, and tomatoes. The European soldier. This medium-sized member of the extensive white bean family has a red mark resembling the silhouette of a soldier standing at attention. The mark remains even after the bean is cooked. The European soldier's good bean flavor stands up nicely to assertive dishes. It's fabulous in dishes that contain cheese. The Fava. When an ancient Roman called for beans, he got favas. Favas are one of the only European beans in use today that are indigenous to the region. They are much prized in fresh form and can be readily found in American markets in the spring. Dried favas are very different and cannot be substituted in recipes for fresh favas. The dried ones are very large, flat, greenish brown to darkish brown beans, and they're quite sandy in texture. If you've purchased unpeeled dried fava beans, peel the skins after soaking if the skins don't float to the top. You can also purchase peeled dried favas, and you have further choice among large or small, whole or split. Favas are traditionally pureed and used in fritters like falafel and in stews like the Portuguese manchupa with stringy meat and tomatoes. We recommend matching the hearty flavor and texture of favas with strong ingredients. They are wonderful with fresh herbs like thyme. Flageolet. This is an unusual French bean, and that it is harvested before maturity. This practice makes it unusually delicate in texture and in flavor. It is a small, pale green bean, often so pale it's almost white, but because of its delicate nature, it works particularly well with French cuisine. In Brittany, it is the traditional partner to roast leg of lamb, or it is served in a gently herbed tomato sauce. Try serving flageolet in a gratin or in a vinegar-dressed salad with red potatoes. Gigante. These are very large white beans, usually imported from Spain or Greece. Gigante are good in bean stews like Spanish fabada, though they're a little grainy when cooked. The Great Northern Bean. A commercial name, Great Northern is used for any number of beans from the vast white bean family. They are medium-sized, flattish, slightly kidney-like in shape, and very ordinary in flavor and texture. Jacob's Cattle. Jacob's Cattle is a medium-sized, long, slim member of the extensive white bean family, with red and purple maroon blotches and circles. Grown in New England since colonial times, they have an especially smooth texture and a distinctive fresh flavor. Jacob's beans are delicious with Mediterranean flavorings. Add them to sliced Italian sausages simmered in tomatoes and red wine with fresh rosemary. Kidney beans. These classic beans come in both red and white. For the kidney beans, also known as Mexican beans, they are an ancient variety from southwestern Mexico. They are medium-sized, shaped as the name indicates, with two color possibilities, either deep brownish, reddish purple, or light red. Their virtues include a reasonably full, beany flavor and a rich texture. They're also good in Spanish, Mexican, Latin American, and Southwestern dishes. Lentils. The lentil may have been cultivated in Western Asia as early as 8000 BC, which would certainly make it the easiest and earliest cultivated legume. With its sweet, earthy, distinctive flavor, it's also one of our favorites. It's a little difficult to keep track of because there's so many different varieties in so many different countries. But broadly speaking, there are 5 distinct groups of lentils in the marketplace. Most are a green lentil or a brown lentil. The browns are a little smaller than the greens and have a slightly deeper taste. Whole red lentils are relatively large, deep flavored, salmon-colored lentils that turn yellow when cooked. Red lentils are whole red lentils that have been peeled and split, and they are less earthy than the green and brown ones, but a little spicy. Our favorite lentils of all are known as French green lentils, though they don't necessarily come from France. Some of the best ones do. They come from a small area in France called Le Puy. They're firmer than other lentils, with a slightly wilder flavor. Others come from a small area in Umbria, Italy, called Castelluccio. They don't hold their shape quite as well as lentils de Puy, but their flavor is even more intense. Lentils don't need soaking. If you cook them quickly, about 20 minutes at most, you will turn them into puree if you don't watch them carefully. Uses are endless. Soups, stews, curries, salads, pasta, rice dishes, and croquettes. It all sounds delicious. It all sounds delicious, doesn't it?